2025 has been the year of the US government accepting crypto and ultimately saying, guess what? This is the future. We want to embrace it. We want to be a leader around it. And we never thought that it would lead to what we just witnessed in the last 24 hours. And we have to address this. We have to talk about it as well. And yes, we're going to go over this in depth, really going over every single step of it. Because again, there seems to be a lot of drama around this announcement. A lot of people are kind of concerned about it. There's a lot of FUD behind XRP because of it. So we have to talk about this. But let's start off and let's just go back to the end of July, where we did get the big update from the White House, which was the crypto report officially getting released. The Trump administration officially backs crypto as a pillar of America's future, calling it a grassroots revolution that deserves recognition. The goal, make the US the crypto capital of the world. And yeah, the fact that we are getting documents like this from the government itself is just crazy. Again, a lot of people don't think that it's that crazy though. But I feel like what most of the newbies think, because again, I don't want to be disrespectful about this, but you know, a lot of the participants now in crypto are very newbie. They don't know about the past cycles. They weren't here back in like 2020 and 2017. And if we think about the White House putting out a document that includes crypto, confirming that crypto is the future as well, like that's pretty crazy to think about. Like it feels almost unreal for those that have been around crypto for a while, because we never thought that we would get to this point, especially going through, you know, the Gensler era, which kind of gave us PTSD if you think about it. But, you know, regardless of that, you know, we are at this stage of the market. We are at that stage of this technology getting the green light and getting that, you know, vote of confidence that, hey, guess what? This stuff can change the way that money moves around the world. This can completely revolutionize the way that, you know, money moves and how money works. And we could even bring these asset classes on chain, and we could have it, you know, being traded 24/7, 365. Like the things that are now possible with crypto, it's being told to us by the government. We always knew about it, but we never got that overall spotlight put on it by the government. But on top of this, we also have over here, and this is from John Squire, the White House just proposed a strategic digital asset reserve, the focus, regulation, utility, and compliance. That's exactly where XRP shines. Fast, scalable, built for cross-border finance. This document is a green light for real-world crypto use cases. And yeah, it 100% is. Now, if we look into this, these are the 2 pages from this document. The first one is a framework established by these executive orders. The reserve in the stockpile will be administered by the Treasury, which will establish an office to administer and maintain control of the associated custodial accounts. The reserve in the stockpile will be capitalized by forfeited digital assets, in other words, digital assets owned by the U.S. government. However, forfeited digital assets needed to satisfy statutory objectives will continue to be used for those objectives, including to compensate identifiable and verifiable victims of crimes, to support law enforcement operations, to be equitably shared with state and local law enforcement partners, and to fulfill other statutory forfeiture program requirements. The Bitcoin in the reserve will generally not be sold and will be maintained as a reserve asset of the United States, utilized to meet governmental objectives in accordance with applicable law. And this is basically just breaking down the, you know, custody of these assets and, you know, how the Treasury would work around crypto. But then also over here, we do have the full breakdown of strengthening American leadership in digital financial technology, which this is promoting dollar-backed stablecoins in the digital era of finance. So again, all of this goes hand in hand with them embracing utility-based projects and giving the green light to a lot of these great crypto companies that have been in this space, you know, putting in all the time and effort and work to be fully compliant, utilizing these networks for specific use cases. In this case, Ripple utilizing XRP and the XRPL for changing the way that money moves around the world. Now, on top of this, we also have over here from Howard Lutnick, and this was the big update over the last 24 hours. So the numbers are in. GDP growth has surged by 3.3%, and starting now, the Commerce Gov has put America's economic data on the blockchain for the first time ever. Under President Trump, the economy is strong, our workers are winning, and America is leading in crypto and economic innovation. Check this out.
The GDP numbers that came out this morning are impressive.
Now, I also hope that YouTube doesn't take this video down.
U.S. economy.
Because I know for a fact that, they're going to, instead of me playing this video clip, let me just grab the quote, because I do have the quote open as well. 1 second. So here we go, because I don't want to just risk YouTube muting it. I do apologize, but YouTube has been very annoying with that, and I just don't want to distract you guys or disrupt your video at all. But here we have the U.S. Department of Commerce says, we are cementing our role as the blockchain capital of the world. It's only fitting that the Commerce Department and President Donald Trump, the crypto president, publicly release economic statistical data on the blockchain. We are making America's economic truth immutable and globally accessible like never before, cementing our role as the blockchain capital of the world. And everybody has to admit that 3.3% GDP growth is impressive. And this is from Howard Lutnick. This is the same quote from this video. Obviously, he was talking about a lot more, but I do apologize for YouTube just being annoying. But yeah, this is definitely a big deal. Now, everyone started to panic a bit, because guess what they're using for this? Chainlink. Now, I've always said that Chainlink is a very, very big deal. I think Chainlink is a great project in the space. It's a blue chip. But the thing is that everyone was wondering, oh, why weren't they tapping into XRP? Why weren't they adopting Ripple? Guys, Chainlink and Ripple and Link itself and XRP are two completely different things. They look into two completely different use cases. Chainlink is the best decision for this because it is a data oracle. It is a data oracle provider. That's the same reason why we see a lot of players, even Ripple, working with Chainlink on specific things. But here we have the full announcement. The U.S. Department of Commerce partners with Chainlink Link to bring government macroeconomic data on chain. Now, why am I not worried about this at all when it comes to like XRP or anything? Because again, when we look at how Chainlink works, here we have the full breakdown, right? Key U.S. economic data points are now on chain via Chainlink data feeds across these blockchains: Arbitrum, Avalanche Base, Botanix, Ethereum, Linea, Mantle, Optimism, Sonic, ZK Sync. There's definitely a few other ones as well. There's even XLM. But here we have how it works. You can see that this connects to any blockchain. So it doesn't matter if XRP was selected or not. Any blockchain can be tapped in, including even XRP. So again, when we think about Chainlink, everyone thinks immediately, oh, XRP versus Link. It's such a ridiculous thing. It's so ridiculous to think like that. It's not about competition here. It's about how these pieces are falling into place to support these vital use cases and to support the adoption of crypto. I'm very excited about this. Now, on top of this, we also have over here, because Wormhole is also a big player that is tied to this. We have here, the U.S. Department of Commerce has selected Wormhole Ecosystem Team Pyth Network to verify and publish economic data on chain, with all multi-chain data interoperability powered by Wormhole. And this is the full breakdown of it. Today's announcement by Lutnick and also Donald Trump marks a landmark step for the adoption of decentralized technology, validates Pyth's role as the most trusted data source, and solidifies Wormhole's role as the most secure multi-chain data messaging protocol. This integration will initially offer quarterly releases of GDP data going back 5 years, and the Pyth contributors anticipate expanding this initiative to support a broader range of economic data sets. Pyth's ability to ensure that cryptographic verifiability and immutable publication of official statistics across chains in partnership with Wormhole marks a new chapter in how governments can interact with decentralized technology. And of course, when we think about this, let's go back over here, because this is from Bank XRP. Ripple is in a partnership with Wormhole, bringing multi-chain interoperability to the XRP ledger. And yes, that was announced back in June as well. I believe that there's a quote from David Schwartz as well. I know that somebody posted it, but I did lose it just going off of some of the research. But I do know that this is a very big announcement for XRP from Wormhole back in, just June. And again, this could definitely lead to some exposure to XRP. I think any blockchain, any network in the space can be tapped in with this. But again, this is just the beginning of blockchain being incorporated into the US system. This is crazy to me. It's very bullish. And also, remember, right, if we go back to just January of this year, here we have the United States government is going to implement domestically developed blockchain technology to enhance transparency and fiscal expenditure. Choose wisely. Big shout to Subjective Views for this. Do you guys remember this video? What's funny about this video, and I'm going to play it here in a second, is it goes hand in hand with the Project Crypto, which was announced by Paul Atkins, which was a sweeping initiative to modernize U.S. financial regulation, bringing markets on-chain and advance Trump's crypto working group agenda. Check this out, guys.
President Trump, meanwhile, signed an executive order last week aiming to make the United States the crypto capital of the world, creating a working group to advise the White House on a regulatory framework and legislative proposals, including evaluating the creation of a potential U.S. digital asset stockpile. Perianne, what do you think about that?
This executive order really sets the tone from the top, which is something that's been deeply needed. Maria, you mentioned some of the issues we've had in AI, particularly in competition with China. This is not the only advanced technology where the U.S. has completely fallen behind China and other nations globally. The U.S. is not the crypto capital of the world today. A lot of the investments, the development, the innovation is not happening here. It's happening in Asia. It's happening in the Middle East. It's happening everywhere else but here. Why? Because we've had very poor leadership on this issue. So we were very proud to see President Trump come out and acknowledge the critical importance of cryptocurrencies, recognizing this is an advanced technology. It's important for the national security and the economic security of the nation that we lead in the development of all advanced technologies. That includes digital financial technologies like blockchain. So this creates and is the start of a new era, which will help bring home so much of that investment and innovation that has left the United States throughout the Biden administration.
Yeah, that's a great point. The money has left the United States, partly because we don't have clarity on regulation either. But Trump's pro-crypto pick to run the Treasury, Scott Bessent, is now officially sworn in. He was sworn in yesterday. Adam Johnson, jump in here.
Oh, thanks, Maria. Yeah, Perianne, I'm curious because you just mentioned blockchain. And in fact, Elon Musk has said that as part of Doge and trying to make government more efficient, he would like to introduce blockchain to give us a sense for where all the money's going. What might that look like if we saw blockchain somehow being used by the government?
And this is not a new conversation. We've known for many, many years that blockchains can be an infrastructure to create radical transparency, not only within our financial system to address things like systemic risk and illicit finance, but it can also be used to make our government more efficient and more transparent and more accountable to the American people. You can track and trace exactly where assets are going. We've just seen over the past couple of days, as we've got new leadership coming to town, we're learning all sorts of things about where taxpayers' money is going to completely inappropriate places. With a blockchain, you can track where those funds go and verify with 100% accuracy that funds are going to their intended purpose. So the Doge absolutely should be looking to leverage this technology to make the government more transparent and more accountable and ensure that taxpayer funds are used in the correct way.
So, Perianne, what kind of policy do you want to see to give this whole idea legs in terms of infrastructure around crypto? Commerce Secretary nominee Howard Lutnick will appear for his Senate confirmation hearing later today. Of course, Trump also tapped Securities and Exchange Commission Republican Mark Uyeda to serve as the agency's acting chair until President Trump's choice of Paul Atkins is actually confirmed at the Securities and Exchange Commission. So I want to get your expectations around policy for crypto, given these new leadership roles, whether it's, Treasury, Commerce, or SEC.
Well, one of the biggest issues impacting the digital asset ecosystem here in the United States is a lack of regulatory clarity coupled with very aggressive regulation by enforcement. In order for American businesses and American investors to develop and build and innovate and invest in American-made technologies, they need to know what the rules to the road are, and that has not been provided. It's really not that difficult. It's a leadership issue. We know what needs to be done. The agencies have the authority to do do so. We're very glad to see so many pro-crypto people coming into the cabinet, also leading other agencies, including independent agencies, who can create that regulatory clarity, provide clear rules to the road so we can develop and invest in American-made blockchain technologies.
Yeah. And we'll see if that includes mergers like the CFTC merging into the Securities and Exchange Commission with their efforts to cut costs as well. Perry, it's great to see you.
And what's crazy about that is that's exactly what we are seeing. We're starting to see the CFTC and the SEC work together to make sure that this entire vision becomes a reality. Listen, who wouldn't want to see and track where our taxes go? If you pay in, no matter if it's $1 or if it's $10,000 plus dollars, you should 100% be able to track exactly where your tax money is going. Now, we are probably going to see that happen within the next couple months. I mean, this would be a huge development, but the fact that we just got this update, even if it is just with Chainlink, now it's not just with Chainlink, we got 9, confirmed networks that will be tied to this. I do suspect that we will see a lot more as well. And remember, there's a lot of exposure here that you could see with Wormhole and XRP. XRP doesn't always have to be included in these announcements. The main thing that we're watching here is the US government now embracing the tech, tapping into the tech. This sends a global signal that every country should get ready to tap into crypto. This is going to accelerate everything. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out, guys.